So I got the idea for this video after watching a different video explaining the difference between the Tamamo no Mai of Japanese folklore and the one in the Fate series. The folklore version makes reference to a Seishoseki, or killing stone, and since I was watching Danmachi 2 at the time, I remember that Danmachi also had one of those, and I decided to make this video after that, so that's kind of where the idea for this came from. I'll link the original video that I got the idea from in the description if you want to watch that. I also had another video I was going to do where basically I was just going to rant about fan service, but I put a poll on Twitter asking if you guys wanted that video or this video first, and this one won. That's fan service in and of itself, but I guess I'll save that for the other video, eh? And because I don't have a better intro than that, Danmachi! I'm not gonna lie, I was stupid excited for when Danmachi 2 got announced because it's one of my favorite series, and Danmachi 2 certainly didn't disappoint me. I mean, I'm a little bummed that it's over, but that's kind of different, eh? Obviously, there's going to be some spoilers for Danmachi 2 here, so consider that your warning, okay? I also am not going to be using any clips from the anime because Japanese law is pretty strict when it comes to like piracy type stuff, and while I don't think using little bits and clips from the anime could get me in trouble for that, I'm still a little paranoid and I don't want to risk it, so sorry about that, I guess. I don't know. So one of the story arcs in Danmachi 2 was the Killing Stone arc. Now the Killing Stone in the world of Danmachi is a usable item that would allow someone to infuse the soul of a renard, basically just Danmachi's version of a kitsune, into the stone during a ritual on the full moon. See, renards are capable of very rare and special magic, and if their soul is infused into a Seishoseki, or a killing stone, it would allow anyone to access that power at will, and if the stone is broken, it would make the magic accessible to anybody that has a piece of that Seishoseki. And since the character Haruhime's rare magic is level boost, it was pretty obvious why the Ishtar Familia wanted that power, and ultimately, it wound up not being worth it for them, since their whole plan kind of backfired when the Familia they wanted to attack, the Freya Familia, decided to attack first, and Belle and friends were able to rescue Haruhime. But we never actually saw what would happen in the world of Danmachi if the soul of a renard was infused into one of the killing stones, because obviously, you know, plot determines that the good guy needs to win. But the Seishoseki of Japanese folklore is very different. While the Japanese folklore version of the Seishoseki does also involve a kitsune, that kitsune is Tamamo no Mai, one of the Nihon Sandai Aku yokai, or Japan's 3 terrible yokai. Tamamo no Mai, no, not that one, has appeared a lot in history, with some records saying in China, India, and Japan over the course of thousands of years, but we're going to skip a lot of that for time's sake. What you really, basically all you need to know is that Tamamo's been up to no good for thousands of years, causing absolute havoc, committing heinous acts of evil, and trying to take over various kingdoms throughout history. Now, in the part of the story we care about for the sake of this video, Tamamo transformed into a human baby and appeared on the side of the road and was taken in by a passing couple. As a kid, she proved to be super smart, super beautiful, and wound up getting a lot of attention. Eventually, while she was still a kid, she wound up reciting poetry for the emperor, and the emperor wound up taking a liking to her and employed her to his court. While she was on the imperial court, there wasn't any question that she couldn't answer, and was said to have one of the most beautiful faces in all of Japan. However, years later, during a poetry and instrument recital, a bad storm rolled in and it blew out all the candles in the place. But Tamamo's body began emitting a very bright light that wound up lighting up the room, and it wound up making a lot of people believe that she was of divine lineage and was soon made a consort to the emperor. Although pretty quickly after becoming a consort, the emperor fell horribly ill, and not even some of the best doctors could figure out why. Eventually an onmyoji called Abe yo Yasunari, I probably butchered that, was called in and eventually discovered that Tamamo was the cause, since she was cursing the emperor so that she could eventually try to seize the throne for herself. Tamamo was then forced to flee the imperial palace with 80,000 men on her tail, but after several days the army was growing tired and getting ready to give up chasing her. However, two warriors, Kazusanosuke and Miura-nosuke, refused to accept defeat. Tamamo tried to beg for her life by appearing to the two of them in a dream, but it was ultimately a waste of her time since she was killed by the two of them the next day. However, that wasn't Tamamo's end, as her spirit inhabited a nearby boulder, which would become the Seishoseki, which also began to emit a horrible poison, killing anything and everything that came near it, even being as powerful as to kill birds flying overhead. Soon after as well, the emperor died airless, which wound up leading to the Genpei War, one of Japan's worst wars in history. Eventually, a monk called Geno came across the Seishoseki and was informed that it was inhabited by the spirit of Tamamo no Mai. After performing a Buddhist memorial service, Tamamo's spirit appeared to him and confessed her thousands of years of sins to the monk. After listening to Geno's Buddhist teachings, she repented said sins and vowed to never again commit evil. Her spirit was then exorcised and never harmed anyone again. The Seishoseki also stopped emitting its poison, and Geno struck the Seishoseki, breaking it into several pieces, which flew across Japan and were either enshrined or turned into charms. Just to cut in for a second here, some of the sources I found said that the enshrined pieces flew to modern Okayama, Niigata, Hiroshima, and Oita prefectures, but I couldn't find anything on where in those prefectures they supposedly are. So if you happen to know where, especially for the Oita prefecture, since I kind of live there, let me know, because that would be a kick-ass day trip. So the Seishoseki in Danmachi is very different from its folklore counterpart, but there is still some inspiration since the Danmachi version still has to have a soul of a kitsune in it, and both do have power, even though Danmachi's gets to have rare special magic and the folklore version gets a super deadly poison. But it's still power, I guess. Either way, though, I do still think that it's kind of cool that stuff from folklore can make its way into, I guess, more modern media, even though they'd usually change it quite a bit, but there's still some inspiration there, and I think it's pretty cool. So, because I don't exactly have a proper outro, I'm just going to kind of talk here for a second. I am hoping to try to start making more regular YouTube videos again. I'll admit I kind of fell off the habit there for a while. And I've admittedly started to fall off of my live streaming schedule. I am hoping to get back onto that very soon as well, though. So I guess just kind of watch out for that stuff. I'm still working on potentially changing my Twitch schedule, though, since I've got some stuff that I'm working on. But anything regarding either a new YouTube video going up or a stream or anything, I'm going to put something on Twitter first. So make sure you follow that if you want to know what the heck is going on. I may or may not also post some occasionally funny and or maybe some ranty stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and let you go about the rest of your day. So see you later.